Hi, I hope you're all doing really well and you're enjoying Varjak Paw so far. Today I'm back to read you chapter 27. The three friends headed for the hill at top speed. Varjak explained about the gentleman and his black cats on the way. He hoped he wasn't too late. With the elder paw gone and father in charge, what would the family do when faced with the gentleman's cats? What would the gentleman's cats do to them? Anything could have happened. After all the time he'd been away, the house would surely be different. Those pictures in his head, the red velvet armchairs, the china feeding bowls, might not even exist anymore. He was sure of only one thing. They'd have to climb the wall to get in, and Varjak remembered it as the hardest climb of his life. Thunder growled at above the city as they reached the foot of the hill. The sky was violet with the threat of another storm. "It's up here," said Varjak, leading the way as lightning flashed overhead. They climbed the hill as fast as they could. Rain began to fall. It came in stinging whips which lashed into Varjak's nose, his eyes, his ears. He tried to snatch a breath. Water filled his mouth, surged down his throat. He choked on it, but kept going. Up the hill, 1 step, 2 steps, 100, 1,000, whatever it took. The moon stared down at them, a sullen one-eyed sentry in the sky. "Give up," it seemed to say. "Give up and go away." Soaking, straining, panting for breath, they reached the top of the hill as the sky shattered in white light. What Varjak saw there made his fur prickle. A little stone wall stood before them, half the height of any in the city. It looked old and crumbling, as if it had been neglected for a very long time. And another blast of thunder rocked the earth. Varjak shivered. Could this really be the same wall which enclosed the world he grew up in? The wall that once seemed so high and impossible to climb? Was this the place he had left? Or had everything changed while he was away? There was a door in the wall. He pushed at it. It wouldn't budge. It was locked. He circled the wall, seeking some familiar sight. A lightning flash revealed the cracks and fissures in the stone where the wild moss grew. At the top of the wall he could see the gnarled upper branches of some stunted old trees. And there was that single tree which he'd fallen down the night he left home. Varjak touched its wet bark and smiled with relief. He recognized it now. Of course it was the same place. The place would never change. It was him who had changed. "This is it!" he shouted happily above the thunder. "There are trees inside. We can climb down. I'll go first and—" "Cludge, what's wrong?" Cludge was shaking. His eyes were cloudy with fear again. Can't climb," he stammered. "Cludge can't climb." Varjak stared at the huge, powerful dog in disbelief. "You can't?" "Of course he can't," snapped Holly. "Everyone knows dogs can't climb. We'd be in big trouble if they could. Isn't there another way in?" "Dogs can't climb?" "No, they can't," said Holly. She frowned. "This is the only way in, isn't it? I can tell from your face." It felt like falling through the air and never landing. They were so near, but that wall, that old stone wall, stood in the way once again. "Cludge, sorry," said a small, scared voice beside him. "Want to help Varjak." Lightning flared up above. Thunder cracked. Rain streamed down Varjak's face like tears. But it was strange. The storm didn't scare him as it had before. Instead, it seemed to enter him from whiskers to tail, filling him with its own wild power, so that he and the storm became one. There was no turning back now. With or without a dog, he was going to find his family. "It's all right, Cludge," he said. "You wait for us here. Come on, Holly, let's go inside." They left Cludge cowering under the tree. The two cats stormed up to the top of the wall. They clambered over the edge and down the other side, through a tangled maze of twisted branches. Silently they stole into the garden. They padded over the wet grass and up to the cat door. "This is it," whispered Varjak as they slipped through. "This is the Contessa's house." And that's the end of chapter 27. I will see you tomorrow for chapter 28. Bye.